Alright, hello everybody, and welcome to Full Range Wrestling Recap. I am your host, Most Valuable Pat, and this is the wrestling recap for February 25th, 26th, and 27th for Elimination Chamber, Raw, and SmackDown. So we're just going to go ahead and get right into it here. I'm actually kind of excited about this episode because this week was actually pretty good, so I actually kind of liked it. So we're going to get right down to it. I'm excited to talk about it, so let's get on moving. Elimination Chamber was this past Sunday, and I like this. I love Elimination Chamber. It's one of my favorite pay-per-views of the entire year, and they usually do a pretty good job with doing some of these matches. You know, some surprises in there and stuff like that, and some cool things that happen. But my girl Alexa won her championship back, and she's gonna lose it to Asuka at WrestleMania. I'm glad she has another, month or so before she loses her title. So, it wasn't really a shock to me that she won this match. I didn't think that she was going to lose. It turned out who was first? It was Bayley and Sonya first. And then Mandy Rose came in afterwards and started beating up on Bayley. And then Sasha Banks came in. And then they started beating up on both of them. And it turns out the first two eliminations were Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose. Which is fine because they're the least deserving of the people to have a championship opportunity at WrestleMania, so they should be out first. But in the end, Alexa came out and beat everybody and won back her championship. Sasha turned on Bayley again. Bayley got her back on Raw, which we'll talk about later. And it was overall good match. It was fun to watch. You know, the women in this always have good matches. They always do a good job when they have their matches. It's a lot of fun to watch, but it's always the same people. And Nia wasn't in the match. I don't know what the deal is with Nia Jax. I'm gonna go on kind of a rant here a little bit again on Nia Jax because I love Nia Jax. I think she's one of the best women wrestlers in the WWE right now, and they don't give her any sort of opportunity whatsoever, and it really kind of annoys the shit out of me. She's related to The Rock and Reigns and Usos, and yet she doesn't get shit. It kind of annoys me that I'm pretty sure she's related to Roman Reigns and Usos. By some sort of a bloodline, they're related to each other. I know they are. So why is it that the Usos win the championships, Reigns gets handed every single title, and Nia Jax doesn't get shit? She doesn't even get an Elimination Chamber, which is annoying. I don't like that at all. I think that her being, if she's not in WrestleMania, I'm gonna be really pissed off. If there's a way that they can fit her in as a triple threat match at WrestleMania, of course Asuka's gonna win anyway, but at least she's in it, and maybe somewhere down the line she can actually get herself a championship, which she solely deserves. But it really gets on my nerves that Nia Jax isn't in anything. For right now, as of today, Tuesday, she's not in WrestleMania. So I'm doing this right after SmackDown on Tuesday night. I haven't heard anything as of right now. She's not in WrestleMania, but we'll see. Hopefully she is, man. She deserves it. And it just sucks that she's not gonna be. It's just kind of annoying. But so moving on here a little bit, I'll talk a little bit about what happened afterwards. Alexa Bliss, this is the reason why I love her so much. She's the only woman in the WWE that can talk and that has charisma when it comes to talking. She's amazing when it comes to talking and doing promos and stuff like that. She's amazing. She's the best one at it. There's nobody better than she is. Naomi is close, but everybody else is terrible compared to her. Sasha and Bayley sound really monotone. Charlotte's okay. but Alexa's way above a class above everybody else is. She comes out and she's like, fans are chanting for her. They're saying, you deserve it and all that kind of stuff. And she says that, there's all these little girls out there who dare to dream and all that kind of stuff. And then she says, and then afterwards she turns and she's like, but none of you guys are gonna do it, and none of you guys' dreams are gonna come true. And it's great. It's hilarious. She's so good at what she does, and she's got the promos. She has the talking points down. She should go back and teach all the other girls how to do the promos that she does, because everybody needs to learn from her. She's amazing at what she does. They only had 5 matches on this card, which was fine. They don't need to have any more matches than that, it's fine. It's good. Every one of them was good except for one, and that was Titus Worldwide versus the Bar. And I talked a little bit last week about how there's no elite tag teams on Raw. Somebody commented last week on my podcast last week about Gallows and Anderson and Revival. How did I forget about them? I don't even know. I haven't seen Revival in a while, and it looks to me like Anderson and Gallows are going to be doing something else. So I don't really know what's going to happen with them, but I've totally forgot about Revival. Why is Titus Worldwide getting opportunities over them? I don't get it. I don't really understand. If they're hurt, I don't know about it, because they're not even on Raw. They weren't on Raw this week. So where are they at? You know what I mean? Like, what's going on? How come they're not getting title shots? It just annoys me. They need to get more tag teams in both shows. Because, I mean, there's a couple good ones on SmackDown. There's way more on SmackDown than there's on Raw. So hopefully, the day after WrestleMania is when they start calling up people from NXT. So I'm really hoping that they call up a couple girls and they call up a couple tag teams, and they don't make I know that Johnny Gargano or whatever his name is, he's gonna be coming up, I'm sure, but I'm hoping that they bring up another tag team, and I'm hoping they bring up at least a couple girls. That would be great. They need girls, and they really need tag teams on Raw, especially on Raw. SmackDown's okay. They can maybe bring one. But even if they bring one on Raw, that's somewhat competitive, then I think that'd be wonderful if they did something like that. One of the other matches that I was looking forward to seeing was Matt Hardy versus Bray Wyatt. It was such a funny match. Like, his Woken that he is really cool. I know that they had Broken in TNA, and I never watched it. I don't watch TNA. I don't like TNA, which is why I'm really confused about why Jeff Jarrett's in the Hall of Fame. But he was against WWE for so many years, and all of a sudden the WWE's going to put him in the Hall of Fame. Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. But anyway, that's kind of a tangent. Bray Wyatt versus Matt Hardy. These two guys are just amazing against each other, and they really complement each other really well. Like, I know they had this big rivalry on Twitter or some sort of social media a while ago, and now they're kind of coming out and they're putting it in the ring and leaving it all in the ring and all that kind of stuff, which is really cool. I'm sure they have a lot of respect for each other, but they both can do promos very well, and they both can wrestle very well. And it was a good match. And then Matt Hardy ended up winning the match afterwards. Bray Wyatt on Raw the next night was really pissed off about it and went off on, I think, Heath Slater or something like that. But hopefully this keeps on going a little bit, because it's actually a lot of fun. I'm going to talk about the Ronda Rousey contract signing. But first I want to talk about the Elimination Chamber for the Universal title shot. What did I say? I predicted it. I said it from the very beginning. Roman Reigns wins the championship, or wins the title shot at WrestleMania. Duh. Everybody knows that. It's not really difficult to figure it out. He's going to beat Brock at WrestleMania. It's probably going to be Rollins versus Roman after that. And then who knows when it goes on from there. But, duh. You know what would be really? This would be really cool. This would be really cool. I want to put a scenario out there for you guys to kind of let this go through your mind a little bit. So Roman beats Brock, right? He keeps the title for a month. Let's say a month, okay? The next night on Raw, afterwards, Bobby Lashley makes his debut on Raw. Go the next pay-per-view after that, Bobby Lashley versus Roman Reigns. I think that'd be freaking amazing. I like Roman Reigns. I was talking to a friend of mine, and this was a question that was asked of me. What do you think of Roman Reigns winning the championship? I'm skipping around. I'm sorry. I'll do the rumors and stuff like that, but I do want to address this while I'm talking about Roman Reigns. Somebody asked me, "What do you think about Roman Reigns winning the Elimination Chamber?" And I thought about it a little bit, and I had a talk with a friend of mine, and he convinced me that it's complete garbage. There are three other people in that Elimination Chamber that deserve a shot at the championship one-on-one, not triple threat or anything like that, but a one-on-one match with Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, and that's Braun, Seth, and Finn. Two of those three guys are champions. Braun Strowman is one of the most popular superstars in WWE right now. Why isn't one of these three guys facing Brock at WrestleMania? I don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense. Everybody knows that Brock's going to lose to whoever it's going to be at WrestleMania anyway. So why can't it be Seth or Finn? Seth hasn't had any sort of opportunity since he came back from injury, and Finn hasn't had any, period. It's annoying. And it's just, they keep on handing these titles over to Roman Reigns. I mean, it's Roman Reigns and Miz. So that's the other thing that kind of really pisses me off is that Roman Reigns and Miz are the two people that are champions on this show every single week. Miz goes out and he does a movie, and who holds his title for him? Roman does. You know what I'm saying? And then now he comes back, and within a week or two, he wins the championship back, and he's been holding on to it ever since. Come on, man. There are so many people on on Raw that deserve championships besides The Miz. Miz has been there for 12 years. He's had the championship 8 times. Okay? Give it away to somebody else who deserves the championship. Finn, Seth, even Elias, Bray Wyatt. Okay? Matt Hardy, any one of those guys deserves the Intercontinental Championship. Braun Strowman, another guy. All these people on Raw deserve the Intercontinental Championship over The Miz, and they give it to him, and they give it to Roman. You know what I'm saying? And it's absolutely disgusting how they do that kind of stuff, and it's really ridiculous. And people are telling me, well, Roman keeps on getting shoved in our face. It's why we don't like him. Well, and at first I was like, I understand that, but there's a reason for it. He works hard. He does all this stuff. But now I'm starting to understand what you guys are talking about. Is that he does keep on getting thrown in our faces. He keeps on getting handed these stupid championships when he shouldn't be getting handed these championships. And it's really a big pain in the ass. I don't like the fact that Roman's going to beat Brock at WrestleMania. I wish it would be somebody else. But the good news of this whole thing is that it does give relevancy back to the Universal title on Raw, because there is none on Raw. I love Brock Lesnar. I think he's a great champion, but he doesn't come back. He doesn't fight every month. He comes back and fights maybe once every 3 months or something like that. And that's not really something that I really like a whole lot. So I want to see that title become relevant again. I've said this multiple times. And, hopefully they do it. And the Lashley and Reigns thing would be amazing. I would love to see that. That would be something totally unpredictable that nobody saw coming. You know what I mean? The night after WrestleMania, Bobby Lashley makes his debut, comes back, fights against Roman Reigns for the championship the next pay-per-view, and maybe even beats him. I would like to see him beat him. And then have those two have a rivalry going on a little bit. And then, that would be great. And then they had matches after that. It was On Raw, they had matches for the Intercontinental Championship, what they're going to do at WrestleMania for Miz, which I'll talk about that on Raw. But I do want to go through this Ronda Rousey signing, which was very stupid. Um, Ronda Rousey needs to work on her promos, 100%. She's not a mean person. You've seen her on interviews and all that kind of stuff. She's a very nice lady, but she needs to work on her promos a little bit. Hopefully, she can take the time between now and WrestleMania and kind of work on those a little bit. The look at her face, to me, is not really believable when she comes out and she does her promos. She has a mean look in her face, but to me, it looks like she's trying to hold back smiling. And that's not what she's supposed to do. As of right now, it looks like it's going to be her and Angle versus Stephanie and Triple H, which is fine. I don't want to see her win any championships or anything like that right off the bat. She wouldn't anyway, because Asuka's on Raw. But I do want to see that match. I do want to see how much she wrestles. But the one thing that she did do is she threw Triple H through the table and missed the table. I thought that was great. She missed the table. The table broke. He hit like the very end of it. She totally missed the table, which I thought was funny. Her first, actual suplex, and she misses the table. But I want to see how she wrestles. I'm actually kind of curious to see what kind of things that they do to implement her MMA style wrestling into professional wrestling. I want to see what they kind of do with that. Stephanie slaps her, of course, after she puts Angle through a table. And, the whole premise of that was that Angle was out there with during the contract signing, and he was like, didn't you guys say that, you wanted to manipulate her and you wanted to own her and all that kind of stuff? And, Ronda had the mean look in her face, and she suplexed Triple H into a table and then signed the contract and then walked off. After that, then Stephanie came back in, smacked her in the face. And then, Angle broke it up. That's why it was so anticlimactic for me, because she didn't do anything. She just suplexed Triple H through a table. Whoop-de-doo. Really wasn't very interesting to me. So, I know they wanted to do that to boost the ticket sales and stuff like that, but I don't know why they needed to boost ticket sales for Elimination Chamber. I think Elimination Chamber is one of the best pay-per-views out there. I love Elimination Chamber. Elimination Chamber is fun to watch. So, they did have that, and that was actually... But the overall Elimination Chamber was really fun to watch. It was a good one to watch. I liked it a lot. I hope all you guys did, too. Please let me know what you thought of it, because I'm very curious to see what a couple of different reactions. But I really enjoyed it a lot. So we'll move on to Raw, and the first thing that I want to talk about on Raw was the whole thing with Ronda again. I want to continue this whole thing with Ronda. Then we're gonna get into some of the bullshit. It was very anticlimactic with the whole Ronda Rousey thing. When she came out and she started doing her promo stuff, and she said, you owe me an apology for smacking me in the face. I've never been smacked in the face before. You owe me an apology for smacking me in the face. Stephanie comes back, kind of kisses her ass a little bit. I'm sorry. And then they start walking out of the ring, and Triple H punches Angle in the face. That's pretty much all that happened. It was very stupid. It was very anticlimactic. It was very dumb. I was actually looking forward to seeing Ronda do something to Stephanie, but she didn't, which is annoying. So I don't know why they did what they did. It was kind of stupid. Again, Raw, Elimination Chamber was great. Raw was, and SmackDown was pretty good. But after any pay-per-view, the Raw is supposed to be really good, right? Well, not this time. They had a 6-woman tag team match again, where it was Sasha, Bayley, and Asuka versus Alexa Bliss, Mickie James, and Nia Jax. Asuka was out there, and they, with Alexa and Mickie James, which I don't really understand why Mickie James is with Alexa Bliss again. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. All of a sudden she goes from one day being a face to heel in like a day without saying a word. It's just strange. But The way they do that kind of thing is very odd. But match goes on, and it was a good match, and then Sasha was in there, and then she goes to tag Bayley, and then Bayley jumps out of the ring, which thank God. You know what I mean? Sasha Banks has been screwing over Bayley like crazy, and they're probably going to have a match coming up, hopefully WrestleMania, just to have a match. Some sort of a match. But I think it'd be actually kind of fun to see that match again, because they really have classic matches. But that was pretty much all that happened on the women's side. They had Bray Wyatt versus Heath Slater. Who cares? The big thing about what happened on Raw was Miz came out and started talking about how he brings all this prestige over to the Intercontinental Championship, how it's better than the Universal Championship, and how he's basically the Universal Champion on Raw, blah, blah, blah. And he wanted to know what was going to happen with his championship opportunity at WrestleMania. He wants to be on the show, which makes sense. What's he going to be doing at WrestleMania? So, I thought that it was going to be, he's like, I don't care who I face, and blah, blah, blah. And I was hoping that Braun's music was going to come out, and then we were going to see Braun Strowman versus Miz at WrestleMania. But it turned out it was going to be Seth Rollins. Kendall comes out and starts talking shit to the Miz. They end up having a match. Miz loses the match. And then afterwards, Finn Balor comes out. I thought it was to fight against Seth, but then all of a sudden the Miztourage comes out and starts attacking Finn Balor. Luke Gallows and Anderson come out and help out Finn Balor. Kurt Angle comes out and says, you're all banned from ringside. Now it's going to be a match between The Miz and Finn Balor. Finn Balor wins the match. So now it's a little bit confusing about what's going to be going on with The Miz and for his Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania, hopefully, which he loses it. Any of those guys are prime for winning the championship. I mean, Finn, Braun, Seth, any one of those guys, if they all win the championships, the Intercontinental Championship, I'd be fine with that. I want to see Braun win it because I think he needs to be an Intercontinental Champion first before they make him World Champion, because you know what's going to happen. So what I would like to see happen is this is a scenario for the night, for maybe to like SummerSlam. Roman wins the championship, obviously, from Brock at WrestleMania. The next day, Bobby Lashley comes out and challenges Roman. They have this rivalry go on for a while. Maybe if Lashley loses, then he can go on to fight somebody else, and then Roman can go on to fight Seth or something like that. And then at WrestleMania, or not WrestleMania, SummerSlam, then Roman fights against Braun. Braun wins the championship from Roman at SummerSlam in August. You know what I mean? So from April until August, he becomes Intercontinental Champion, fights against all these different people, see how he does as a champion on Raw, and then in SummerSlam rolls around, then he can start being World Champion again. Now, who knows? I mean, and then after that, it would be Bobby Lashley versus Braun Strowman, which would be amazing, by the way. But that would be a kind of a prediction that would kind of happen later on. I mean, Bobby Lashley can go up against anybody, and I think it would be great. Anybody. I miss Bobby Lashley. I think Bobby Lashley's a freaking monster. He's great. So hopefully he comes in and just lights everything up. That'd be wonderful. They had another tag team match where it's the Bar versus Titus Worldwide again. And I mean, I'm not even going to tell you who won the match because it was so stupid. I'm not even going to go through that again. And then they had... So that was the whole thing with... That was basically all that happened on Raw. I talked about Ronda Rousey. I talked about what happened with the ladies. And I talked about the whole Miz thing. And that's basically all that happened on Raw. Nothing else really happened. So... I'm just going to go ahead and move to SmackDown because Raw was just like mediocre at best. At best. And then I'm going to start off with saying one thing that really pisses me off. John Cena is going to go up against Undertaker at WrestleMania. Duh. But here's the thing. Why is it that John Cena can come on the show and just demand a title shot, and he gets it. He goes away for, however much time. He's on Raw for X amount of time. He's in a qualifying match to get into a championship at Elimination Chamber, in which he loses. But then he just goes on to the next show, and then he gets a title shot on the other show the next day. No other superstar ever can do that. Ever. Taker can't do that. You know what I mean? There's not one other superstar that can go onto a show, come out, cut a promo, say I want a title shot on SmackDown, and then get it. He has to earn it by beating AJ Styles, which he did, and now he's in the freaking Fastlane, the Fatal 6-Way match. Oh my god, it's so stupid. I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm hoping that something happens to a point where they go into Fastlane, and then Cena's in the match, about to win the match. Undertaker comes out, chokeslams Cena. AJ Styles pins Cena to win the championship. And then Cena and Taker go on to WrestleMania the next night or the next couple nights on SmackDown. Hopefully that's what happens. We'll see. They had Sami Zayn versus Baron Corbin, which was a great match. These two guys are amazing. I really like watching these two guys. They also had, I think it was Shinsuke finally came back, and he fought against Aiden English. Of course, Shinsuke won the match. That's the best part, is I'm looking forward to seeing Shinsuke versus AJ. Shinsuke versus AJ at WrestleMania. That rhymes. That's the match of the year. No questions asked. Match of the year. I can't wait to see them. If they mess it up, I swear to God, they better not mess it up. They better make AJ win the championship. I swear to God. I'm gonna go off if they don't have Shinsuke versus AJ at WrestleMania. I'm gonna go off. They had the Usos in. Now this is another point. Another point that I want to make about the tag team division and how garbage it is on both shows. Now I don't know what to do with these people. It's absolutely ridiculous. They have Usos and New Day. Okay? They have Aiden English and Rusev, which are a tag team. They have Heath and Rhino, and they have the Bludgeon Brothers. How many is that? Usos, New Day, Bludgeon Brothers, Rhino and Heath. And who did I just say? I just said somebody else. That's 5. They have 5 tag teams on Raw. Aiden English and Rusev. They have 5 tag teams on Raw that are legitimate tag teams. Good, solid, freaking tag teams. They even have Tyler Breeze and Fandango, which is fine. But they're not, they're just a comedy routine. But there's 5 legitimate tag teams on SmackDown. And over the past, year or something like that, we've seen New Day and Usos circle around those freaking titles. Usos and New Day circle around these titles. And then Usos come out and they have these titles for however long they've had them for. Are they going to lose the titles to Bludgeon Brothers at WrestleMania? I hope so. But then who's Bludgeon Brothers going to fight after that? New Day? I mean, it's just, they need to bring tag teams in from NXT. They have to bring in tag teams. Have to. There's no questions about it. It's absolutely ridiculous if they don't bring in tag teams from NXT at some point after WrestleMania. They have to. They're so thin at tag teams right now. It's unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. The only girls match that was on SmackDown was Ruby Riott versus Naomi, and Ruby Riott ended up winning the match because they're making them seem like the most dominant thing to come out of women's wrestling since, well, ever. Um, and other than that, the only other match was Cena versus AJ, which was, again, a good quality match because that's what they do. And Cena wins the match and automatically gets a championship match. It's freaking stupid. It just doesn't make any sense. I don't understand why he's got to be part of it. Why does he have to be in it? Why can't it just be those 5 guys? We've never seen those 5 guys go at it before. Ever. And Cena's got to butt in and do his thing. Why can't it just be him challenging Undertaker? Undertaker comes out, responds, and that's that. I don't really... Ugh, man. I mean, it just doesn't really make any sense. Anyway, we're going to move on here to the rumor mill part of our discussion. What's going on? A couple rumors that are rolling around. Again, usually I go to Cage Side Seats to find out these rumors, which I love. The site's fantastic, and they put out rumors every single day. So go to CageSideSeats.com and check out the rumor mill go running around about WWE. They're saying that it's probably going to be Reigns versus Rollins after WrestleMania 34, but I'm going to predict, this is me, I'm going to predict that they're going to bring in Bobby Lashley and have him fight against Roman Reigns after WrestleMania, which I think would be amazing. Or even if Bobby Lashley comes in before WrestleMania, I still think it would be Bobby Lashley versus Roman Reigns. I think that'd be wonderful. Let's see. Now, this is fun. This is actually kind of cool. On the subject of attendance, they're talking about attendance. Twitter account Wrestle News Daily shared some pics said to be midway through February 20th SmackDown taping. That's last week. In Phoenix that showed an mostly empty arena. I guess their attendance is down like crazy. They're saying that Paul Heyman is going to induct Goldberg in the Hall of Fame, which I really don't understand why. I don't even know that they even really talked about it and even talked to each other. Let's see. Apparently, they're making a film. A filmmaker, John Bravo, is saying there are 15 current or former WWE performers who are clients of Richard Rodriguez, who's alleged to have distributed steroids. And guess who was one of the names that he shouted out? Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns. Yeah, Roman Reigns. It was Roman Reigns that was going to do it. Apparently, they're still planning on making Braun versus Miz at WrestleMania 34 for the Intercontinental Championship, which would be great. I would love to see Braun win that championship. Jinder Mahal is probably going to be added to the Bobby Roode versus Randy Orton U.S. title match at Fastlane, which would be cool. Again, let's see what else is there. Oh, Jeff Hardy went to Alabama on Tuesday. Check on his progress of his injury. He could be back before WrestleMania, which would be amazing. That'd be great. There's also been speculation that AJ Styles is going to move to Raw, which I don't really understand why, because he's a champion on SmackDown, and they take former champions on Raw and bury them. So I don't know why the hell they would even move him to Raw, which is very, very stupid. They would give fresh matchups, but it doesn't make any sense because they don't have anything for him to do, because Finn Balor and Seth Rollins are both former champions that don't do shit on Raw. It's annoying. They're also saying in light of AJ coming to Raw, looks like SmackDown is going to get Seth, which would be great because maybe he can actually get a championship on SmackDown, which would be wonderful. Roman Reigns made this big deal yesterday or on Monday about Brock not being there. That was one of the things that I actually missed on Raw. So I'll talk about it a little bit now. He came out and did a promo about why Brock wasn't going to be there. I guess they were going to have some sort of like face-to-face or something like that, and they didn't have it because Brock, I guess, didn't show up. So I guess they had to rewrite the entire script for what's going to go on Raw for Roman to come out. And Roman made all these crazy comments about, like, he did like a pipe bomb, quote unquote pipe bomb. I love that word. About what happened with him. And apparently he didn't come to Raw because he was in Vegas with Dana White taking pictures and all that kind of stuff. And he was saying how much Brock hated WWE and all that kind of stuff. It looks like Brock's probably not gonna sign again. I doubt it. And so a lot of other people doubt it too. So it really doesn't. It makes sense, I guess. But we'll see what happens. Everything else is just kind of all, obvious stuff. Angle, and it's going to probably be Angle and Stephanie, or Angle and Ronda Rousey versus Stephanie and Triple H at WrestleMania, which doesn't really make any sort of, which makes sense, I guess, but that's fine. I don't mind seeing that. But that's pretty much everything that's going on in the rumor mill that's happening around. That's pretty much going to do it, I think. I don't think I really have anything else to talk about. I answered that question. Somebody asked me a question about Roman Reigns. I did answer that question. Somebody also asked me a question about a week or so ago. And this is probably one of the best questions I think I've ever had in my entire life when it comes to wrestling. And I want to answer it. And I want to get your guys' opinion on this. So there's two things that I want you guys to talk about in the comment section if you put a comment down in the comment section. One is three questions. I'll give you three questions. One is, what do you think about Roman Reigns winning the championship again? Is he getting pushed in our faces? Is he getting shoved in our faces? Is he getting too many opportunities? Please answer those questions. That's all part of one question. But the second question is, what do you think of this question that I got from somebody else? Does The Miz deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? That's the question that somebody asked me. And I don't remember what the third question was. Crap. Oh well. I want to know, and somebody asked me that question. I'm going to answer that question. I'm going to put my pen down here, and I'm going to answer that question. The answer to that question to me is later. You know how he's eventually going to be put in the Hall of Fame just because of his tenure, and also his titles that he had. He's basically, I think he's Grand Slam. I think he's won every title except for the U.S. title. But he's going to be in the Hall of Fame at some point, but I don't think he should be in the Hall of Fame as like the main Hall of Fame guy. They have one every year. It's Goldberg this year. Taker's going to be one of them. Like Edge and all those guys. Those are all like main guys. He shouldn't be a main Hall of Fame guy. He should be in the Hall of Fame, I think, because of how long he's been there, because of the stuff he does outside of WWE, because of how many titles he held, Intercontinental Championships he's held, Tag Team Championships he's held. But he couldn't carry the show when he had the World Championship, which is why I don't think he should be like one of those guys that actually are in the Hall of Fame like as a main guy. I think maybe 10 years down the road, after he retires, let's say he retires in 2019, I think in maybe 2024 or 25, he should be one of the mid-card guys of being in the Hall of Fame. He shouldn't get in right away. I think he should be one of the mid-card guys to get in the Hall of Fame. Just my opinion. I want to hear your guys' opinion. But that's going to do it for our episode of Full Range Wrestling Recap. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our weekly wrestling recap. If you love watching wrestling and you love hearing my opinions about wrestling, which thank you if you do, come back and watch. It's a fun show. I want to hear your guys' questions. I want to hear you guys' answers to my questions. I want to read it, and I want to get you guys involved any way that I can. It's a lot of fun for people who are wrestling fans to talk about wrestling and to get their opinions out there about what's going to happen and what's going on. So please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe and put your comment down in the comment section. It'd be a lot of fun if we had a little debate going about something. It'd be a lot of fun, really, really, really cool. So please don't forget also to visit me on twitch.tv/fullrangemedia, where I watch Raw and SmackDown every Monday and Tuesday and whatever pay-per-view's on during streaming. So you guys can come in and talk to me during the time that I'm streaming about what's going on on Raw and SmackDown or whatever pay-per-view that's on. Also, you can watch Neptune play on YouTube on YouTube.com/fullrangemedia whenever he's doing his gaming stuff. So he's on YouTube Gaming. It's on phone. So that's going to do it for our episode of Full Range Wrestling Recap for 25th, 26th, and 27th of February. So thank you very much for listening. Appreciate it. Everybody have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next week. All right, bye, guys.